Hey, Brendan. Hey, Brendan. How's the mic sound? Hey, Brendan, Hey, Brendan, can you hear me? Is this close enough to my mouth for you to hear me, Brendan? Look, Brendan. Let me tell you something about soccer. So at the time I'm writing this, yesterday, I decided to post a sort of vague community post hinting at some cool projects I have down the pipeline. More detail on that later. Sorry, y'all, but I got a comment asking if I was going to do a Bob's Burgers Season 16 ranking, and I said, oh, yeah, of course. I mean, it's a yearly tradition at this point. So, I was unaware that the season ended, and I was not caught up at all. Why do these things keep coming out short? This happened with 14, too. I swear, I thought I had like a good 6 or 7 weeks left of this thing. This came at a bad time. I'm really fixated on home movies right now.
You're looking for...
I'm looking for answers to questions. I'm looking for solutions to problems. I came out here and I've been digging up things and I found this.
You guys want a home movies video? I'll do home movies. This is the funniest cartoon ever made, maybe. 2 views. Let's get 2 views on the home movies video. Anyway, general thoughts on season 16. Right. What a boring season. Okay, that's a bit harsh, but like this is a perfectly watchable and enjoyable season of Bob's Burgers, not nearly their worst. The issue only comes up when you remember that seasons 13, 14, and 15 all stood out for one reason or another. Season 13 felt like a major return to form after a couple of dull seasons, in my opinion, with some top-tier episodes like The Plight Before Christmas, Amelia,
With that Ken Burns effect on.
Radio No You Didn't. Season 14 was very experimental, with episodes like The Amazing Rudy and Fraud of the Zed, Zombie Docupocalypse, and other more normal episodes that still played with new formats and such. And season 15 was straight up one of the best seasons of the whole show, with too many fantastic episodes to count. Mr. Fishoder's Opus, They Slug Horses, Don't They? Hope and Mike Night, Don't Worry Be Hoopy, and Insomnibob are all like top tier episodes for me. This season, I mean, there's like a few here that I think are really good, but the rest, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, this was kind of the most bored I've been with Bob's Burgers in quite some time. That doesn't mean it's a bad season though. There's still a lot of fun to be had here, so let's get into it. Right after we talk about one of the worst episodes of the entire show. Yeah, this has a 1 out of 10 episode. I didn't know they could make episodes this bad still. Oh yeah, real quick. I actually have a Bob's Burgers popularity poll open. I opened it last year. Basically the same thing as my Pikmin one. Go vote on that if you'd like to see a ranking of like a ton of random characters from the show. Yeah, the rules are on the forum. The link will be in the description. I really want to do that video. I feel like it would be like a kind of nice, big Bob's Burgers video to get the community together. And let's make it happen, people. Let's do it. Okay, now onto the episodes. Here we go. So what gets the fabled status of my least favorite modern Bob's Burgers episode by a wide margin? Is it the lizard one or the Gale one? Now, let's be fair. The Gale one is a profoundly boring and unfunny... Oh, who are we kidding? Of course it's the lizard episode!
Should we go hide some mealworms in my dad's pockets?
We sure should, Courtney. We sure should.
This is an awful episode. I realized about halfway through that I straight up was not invested or interested in a single thing going on. Does the concept of Gene and Courtney getting in a custody battle over a lizard sound interesting? No, I didn't think so. How about Gale starting a pinching business? Does that sound interesting? No. Wow, Gale, you're really killing it with the plot lines this season, let me tell you. It's just profoundly dull, unfunny, frustrating. Gene is already my least favorite Belcher, and all of his worst traits are just like on 10 this entire slog of an episode. Frond gets some funny lines. I like him commentating over the custody battle at the end. That's literally the only thing I like.
With that Ken Burns effect on.
Part of me wants to do like a sickening ranking where I rank every single episode I've covered on the channel. And this would be dead last, like easily. I hate it. We can literally only go up from here. Not just because that's how rankings work, because I literally can't imagine them doing an episode this bad again. I just like, oh, y'all don't hear me talk about things I hate often on this channel. Be grateful. Because, like, oh man. This almost did me in, y'all.
Why buy the wiener dog when you can get the wieners for free?
I don't think that's the saying, is it?
No, it is.
Gail has never been one of my favorite characters. She has her moments, and when she's used right, she can be great. Her role in They Slug Horses, Don't They from last year was brilliant. But then she's doing stuff like this, and it takes every fiber of my being not to turn the episode off. So what's the plot? Gail gets engaged to two guys at the same time and needs to pick one, and you know exactly how it's going to end the entire time. In this episode's credit, and ultimately the reason it ranks above the dreaded lizard episode is just that this is generally a funnier episode, and the scenario here is so out there that it's at least more memorable to me. And you can't say Gail is out of character. One of our first episodes, and one of my least favorites, is where she tries to get with Bob the whole time. She really wants to handshake Bob. There's a lot of running gags about her wanting to handshake Bob. There's just so many episodes where she's randomly getting with some guy. This is a natural escalation. But it's also just not that funny or memorable or good. At least her turning her wedding into a performance art piece is like, that's a funny climax. Yeah, I don't know. Blah. Moving on.
Tina?
You like paper towels, Cole?
What?
You like wadding them up real good? Stuffing them where they don't belong?
Tina!
He's about to crack!
Regroup!
Seeing Bob with other mustaches is far worse than seeing him shaved. This one isn't bad. We're past the bad episodes already, but this one is just kind of whatever. Just kind of boring. There's a lot of Tina episodes this season. You'll see. But this is easily her weakest episode. I just did not care for it that much. I kind of like that their plan to expose the corrupt hall monitors just works, but it also means the conclusion to the story is just kind of underwhelming. Not that I really care that much about Tina getting kicked off the hall monitors in the first place. Lots of good angry Tina moments here. Gene mentions Wes Anderson, and that's the most I've ever liked him. I didn't know he was based like that. Overall, it sure is. It's an episode. It's not one I'm ever gonna think about or watch again, probably.
With that Ken Burns effect on.
Let's move on.
Okay, bud. I'll hold Nebkin while you're on the train, all right?
I want to keep Nebkin.
No. I'll keep him safe with me and baby Mason.
Nebkin, I want Nebkin.
Okay, here you go. Easy, bud. You know best. I mean, you don't. You're for it.
4.5.
Christmas! I love the environment this episode takes place in. This little, like, holiday village thing. Like, these exist. They're all over the place, and it's always kind of, this is a cool idea. There's some funny stuff here, but the plot of this one really keeps it as one of the weakest Christmas specials, in my opinion. The plot line with Louise and Logan having that stunt battle off the tiny slow train is, like, fine. Bob's Christmas cookie shenanigans are fine. What was Linda doing again? I'm sure it was fine. It's a fine episode, mostly elevated by two simple things. One, Logan is just really funny. They don't use him a ton anymore, so I'm not sure if I've ever given my take on Logan, but he's one of my favorite side characters. His voice and just manner of speech is just very funny to me.
While they argue about what tree to get using I feel statements, I come here and stunt this train.
You stunt the train?
Oh yeah.
There's also a couple side characters in this one with very funny voices, like this guy Bob inspires, and this stupid kid. Love these voices. Yeah, it's just kind of another fine episode. I liked it. I'm kind of forgetting it as we speak, to be honest.
The door's locked and the mask is hidden.
And there are no crazy murderers in there to use it on you, so you're fine.
Right. Okay, nothing to worry about. Safe inside.
Halloween, whoa! I always like when they utilize the building next door for a plotline, and this dumb, stupid concept really earns it. It's a very simple episode, and while that keeps it from being especially memorable, it does make it very funny. They run this one joke about the evil twin into the ground, and it maintains being funny throughout the whole thing. Not bad at all. I have, however, already run out of things to say. What were Bob and Linda up to? Oh yeah, Cake! They help one of the actors from Cake rediscover his love for performing, and it's cute. Honestly, the least memorable Cake appearance throughout the entire show. It's still, like, kind of amusing, though. Well, that's enough.
The food service industry is a jungle, so us food inspectors, we're basically like Tarzan. What? Tarzan, Bob. Read a book.
On the topic of fine enough episodes that I don't have a ton to say about, this episode sees Hugo and Bob get trapped in the elevator together. Honestly, I just wish their banter while trapped was a bit more interesting. It felt very underdeveloped by the end, and I don't think it quite earns the ending. However, The new perspective on Hugo provided by said ending is interesting. It makes kind of a neat reflection on the whole series, where Hugo has always been this annoying nuisance. Otherwise, this one's just kind of solid. Not bad, not great. Ron's incredible cutaway gag kind of steals the show, honestly. It made me realize that Hugo's at his funniest when he's bantering with Ron, not Bob. Also, I like Mr. Lynch in home movies.
Mexico. Interesting.
What did you say?
I said interesting.
No, before that.
I'm just gonna ask what everyone's thinking. Did we accidentally bury the bird in Tina's tube top? I feel like we would have remembered doing something like that, but also we're all really fragile right now, so I just don't know.
My first note for this one is, wow, another Tina episode, because this was the 4th episode where Tina was the main character in a row, and it is not the last this season. Amazing. Yeah, I think the crew has kind of subtly shown that their favorite Belcher sibling over these past few years is Tina, and I get it. As a writer, I feel like Tina just provides the most variety in the kinds of stories you can tell with her thanks to her age. She's kind of transitioning from a kid to someone who is a little more mature, and that is interesting, and you can do both kinds of stories with it. This episode's pretty good, too. A classic sitcom dilemma. Whoops, the teenager bought something she loves, but is showing a lot of skin. Yoinksers! It's a fairly standard and predictable plot. There's a lot of good jokes that carry this one, and I like part of the reason that Linda lets Tina keep the tube top is because Bob points out that Tina's just like a really smart kid who will more than likely keep herself out of trouble, which mostly tracks. It doesn't fully track, but it mostly tracks. It's a sweet sentiment nevertheless. Honestly, my favorite part of this episode is the ludicrous subplot where Teddy just has a ton of dead animals buried in his yard. Why does he have all those in there? It's absurd, it's gross, but it is very funny.
I really think we should be up here during Louisa's time of need.
Mom, let them stay. They amuse me. Like Tina here. I mean, look at her. See?
Okay, honestly, this is not an exceptional episode at all. I kind of don't like the way it ends. It is really underwhelming and kind of like a bad message. But who cares? They made a 9-year-old high for a whole episode. Louise being off her rocker on dental drugs is straight up the funniest stuff this entire season, I think. Besides like one gag in the flashback episode that we'll get to. Oh, trust me, we'll get there. I wonder how much of that, if any, was improvised. Either way, it's great. Such a funny episode, and the plot around this with Tina trying to cover up the incident involving Linda's beloved little baby angel statue thing, whatever, it's a good excuse for more hilarious line deliveries from Louise. Pretty fun episode overall, but it's carried by the jokes. Actually, the subplot is really good here. I almost forgot to mention it. Teddy bringing home the wrong old woman is nuts, but made me laugh. I like it. It's rough.
You just messed with the wrong magazine publisher's junior assistant, chump. Who are your parents? Wait, are your parents important?
They're not important.
What? Who are they?
Have you heard of Weezer?
All right, we did it, y'all. We made it to the episodes I think are outright good now. This one feels pretty classic. It features the return of what is his name? Wait, Vincent. It's Vincent. Yeah, I actually never covered his debut episode in season 14 in the ranking video. It was that weird 3-episode batch that came out like way later than the rest of the season. So I thought that the season was over and I made the whole ranking video before it released. I like Vincent. I think his gimmick is pretty funny. And this episode is a much better display for his character than his debut, in my opinion. Being a proper heist episode this time. Bob gets a good character arc here. It's very interesting and reminds me a bit of episodes like the one where he's mad about the sweet potatoes or that other burger that everyone's raving about. Love seeing Bob get petty. And Linda's boob subplot is funny too and wild with some of the animation they do. Love Sabrina. She's super intense and that's very funny. Great character animation, hot tamale. Yeah, I like this one a lot, and that Weezer cover was inspired. What a funny choice. Lot to love here. I see this being an easy revisit for sure. Good stuff.
You'll notice there's no casket. That's because the body is still at the morgue, and that's a totally normal thing in this business.
Mort's nailing it. Yeah.
This is a silly but very sweet episode about a former carny trying to reignite a friendly prank war, only to find that the other carnies hate him for real. It is a very sweet ending that warmed my heart. The show is good at old people stories. I did feel like the Bob and Linda subplot was pretty half-baked though. It kind of just ends abruptly, so they have an excuse to attend the fake funeral at the end. Speaking of the fake funeral, Mort gets a ton to do in this episode, which was delightful. He's always been one of my favorite characters, and it feels like they barely ever really use him. The more Mort, the better we'll be. I also want to draw attention to Sonny. He's a character introduced in the Bob's Burgers movie. He sang Lucky Ducks, and now he's officially a recurring character. He even has a running gag about his tattoos. Look, that's really cool.
I I may have a tattoo of a dagger stabbing a heart going up into a skull and it says dead inside, but I have feelings, you know.
I may have a tattoo that says, sucks to be you. But you know what really sucks? Losing a friend.
Can you please give the same courtesy to my guy Grover Fishoder? He can make such a great Sideshow Bob-esque antagonist, and it's such a pity that we'll probably never see him again, given how funny he is. Anyway, this is a good episode that I liked. Yeah, good one. Good job, guys.
Look, I can't have a typing battle with a student. We're supposed to help students, not demolish them and leave them in a puddle of their own blood.
He's scared.
I'm not scared.
Scared of typing battles? Scared of intimacy?
Oh, Will Forte, you can say anything and it's funny. Yeah, for such a simple premise of Tina beefing with Will Forte teaches typing, that really does carry this whole episode. These two characters are just really funny and they play off each other great. It makes for a super funny, super satisfying episode, even if it is very predictable. That doesn't really matter though. I also think Teddy's subplot is great, where he gets Bob's help to fix up this client's fancy grill, so they throw a party and it all gets caught on camera. The solution was my first gut laugh of the season, besides that joke in the first episode. Trust me, we'll get there. It's so dumb, but it's so funny too. This is a good one. I liked it.
You ever have a birthday party in jail? It sucks. They sing you the happy birthday song, but they add the words in jail to the end of every line, like happy birthday in jail.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Like a gnat out of hell. Nat's back in my favorite episode with focus on her since season 10's The Ring But Not Scary, which is one of my favorite episodes of the whole show. This episode is just a very fun display of her loony personality. Basically every line out of her perfect face is hysterical. Here's some of my favorites.
For me, it was a bad boss that took away my dignity with every single gosh damned interaction. Imagine yourself somewhere calm. For me, it's in the hammock with a little bit of whittling and just a ton of lizards. I'm coming for you, Ronnie, like a gnat out of hell!
Love how intense she gets at the end. The payoff is pitch perfect. The expression work here is fantastic. Linda and Nat have a super fun dynamic here, and I love adding more recurring friends to the family. Teddy pictures cars naked to calm down. That's fantastic.
Car wieners.
Car wieners?
Sorry, car penises.
Yeah, I love this one a lot. A great display for one of the show's best side characters. Now let's move on to the 3 episodes this season that I consider to be truly great.
But that's just the way that potato bounces.
Please don't push my potato.
Oops.
And you did it.
You know, I genuinely really like if Zeke got a girlfriend who wasn't a sociopath. Zeke is one of my favorite characters in the show. In fact, he was my surefire favorite back when I started watching. Nowadays, I mean, I'm honestly not sure, there's just so many candidates. But make no mistake, Zeke is very high up the ranking for me, even to this day. And episodes focused on him tend to have a shockingly sweet center, given that he has a shockingly sweet center. This might be my favorite Zeke-focused episode of all of them, as we get to see his hopeless romantic side really come out for someone who, frankly, does not deserve this divine specimen. Basically, Tina wants to go to a dance with Jimmy Jr., but of course, Jimmy Jr. is committed to going with Zeke, so he doesn't feel lonely. So Tina comes up with an idea to set Zeke up with a girl so they can go on a double date. The girl turns out to be absolutely unhinged, but it's very entertaining. The conclusion is so wonderful. I love Tina and Jimmy Jr. both asking Zeke to the dance. That's so sweet to me. These 3 together are a really underrated trio. I'd love to see more of the 3 of them all being friends. It's always really enjoyable. Love that stupid subplot with the super rat too. Gene actually made me laugh the most this subplot. In fact, outside of the atrocious lizard episode, Gene was kind of the most consistently funny character this whole season. I've been rather dismissive of Gene over the years, but I will acknowledge that he can be very funny in the right circumstances, to which this season provided many. Good for him.
Is he still crying? Should he be closing his eyes like that while he hammers? Ow!
Okay, well, embalming calls. I've got people to pickle.
Oh, God.
This is the 300th episode of Bob's Burgers, and yeah, this lived up to the title of Special Event, as we get a flashback episode depicting the origin of the restaurant. Love the stuff with Bob and Linda in their early married days. Love seeing them meet a bunch of the beloved cast. And let's talk about that Mort reveal. This is genuinely one of the best jokes this show has ever told. That is a payoff to years of build-up. Seeing them meet a freshly divorced Teddy is great. Seeing Linda reveal she's pregnant with Tina is great. It's all so great. The only thing I kind of wish was that the present-day framing device was just entirely cut so he could spend even more time in the past. But I will acknowledge that it's cool that they adjusted the status quo for this momentous occasion. Bob ups the price of the restaurant. I didn't say it was a big change, but it is a change. Fantastic celebration of the show. If I had to rank the milestone episodes, this would be firmly in the middle. Definitely better than 200, but not as good as 100, obviously. As great as this one was, there's one episode that just spoke to me a little more.
If there's one thing us engineers can do, it's build a catapult. Sometimes I feel like that's all we do. I'm not complaining. I find it meditative.
So you know when you tie a string around your wiener and you run it down your pants to your big toe, but it just never works out the way you want it to. Anyway, Smellbound is our season finale, and thank God this was a good finale. The easiest way to make a season finale hit is to involve the whole town. Think episodes like Glued Where's My Bob or Paraders of the Lost Float, and of course, Open Mic Night, an episode that was actually written to be the season 14 finale before something happened or whatever. Anyway, I love this episode. I love the dilemma here, and I especially love how it starts off as a kid-centric conflict, gradually grows to involve Bob in the proceedings. It's really good, and it all culminates with that big hero moment. It's satisfying. It's very satisfying. Great arc for Bob. This is Fish Odor's only big role this season, and he's hilarious as usual. Love Fish Odor.
You know, when you tie a string around your wiener and you run it down your pants to your big toe, it never works how you want it to.
Edith and Harold get a ton of funny moments, and yeah, this was a great way to wrap the season. I do prefer last season's closer, Insomnia Bob, a little, but this was no slouch. A great episode. A great finale, one of their best, and easily my favorite of season 16. Overall, yeah, this is a pretty good season. The top 3 are really great episodes, but I'd be lying if I said there wasn't a fair amount of weak episodes that do drag the season down. I mean, that lizard episode is really terrible. So, for the first time in Startopus Bob's Burgers ranking history, I think this season was okay. Not great. What a shame. Still, I'm eager to see what next year has to offer. Please let me know if you want a home movies video. I will do it. I'm so excited to get back to that show. Oh my god. You want me to rank every home movie season? Let's rank every home movie season. Hey Brendan. Hey Brendan, they're gonna rank every home movie season. If the fans want that. The fans? Yeah, the fans, Brendan. You think we don't have fans, Brendan? You think we don't have fans?